Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a story time about my Lifted Miata project. So kick back and get ready to hear what's happened so far and what's the plan. It's been interesting to say the least. I bought this car from a friend who was going to use it for his Lifted Miata project. However, he found a cleaner shell that was in better condition to use. Little did I know that I'd have the same fate as him, so stay with me now. It was originally a drift car that came over from New Jersey to live its best life, most likely at Club Loose. That's the drift track in North Jersey. This car was a perfect example of a drift missile. The drivetrain was strong, but the chassis not so much. It had front and rear bash bars on it, had a welded-in custom row bar that blocked the seat belts from mounting in the OEM spots, so you could only use racing seats and harnesses. After I bought the Miata, it spent enough time in the garage to grow its own ecosystem due to the high humidity. From the steering wheel all the way to the carpet was covered in mold. Eventually the car started to get some attention after I moved into a larger shop, where I'd clean the mold and strip the interior. I was ready to start working on it. I had to put a new eBay top on the frame and started to prep the bed liner of the interior, since I tossed the carpet. I had intention to do this so that I can encapsulate any rust and make it easier to clean when it would get dirty from going off-road. To accomplish this, the first step was removing most of the plastic and interior. Then I removed the sound deadening mats with heat and a scraper, because this was not easy to remove. This ended up taking multiple hours to complete. But I was ready to move on to the next step, which involved scuffing up the surface with a wire brush and sandpaper to prepare for the last step. Finally, 2 coats of bed liner were applied to the inside of the car, including the trunk. It honestly didn't turn out that bad, but all the work had gone to waste because I'd eventually sell the car for scrap metal. I had full intention to keep this car, but a few weeks later I was sent a listing with Facebook Messenger. This is a clean rolling shell for a price that I couldn't refuse. I made the drive about 3 hours south to pick up the shell in the rain and drove it back. The main reason why I decided to buy the shell was because it was a clean platform to work on. To have a car like that up here in South Sylvania was a great choice, because everything here rots and falls apart. There was no quarter panel or front frame rust in this car, which is notorious for the NB Miatas. So, my plans changed from here. I decided then to remove the drivetrain and strip the parts from the original car to use them on the clean shell. With a lot of help from HyperSpeedMedia, we were able to pull out the engine all the way back to the differential and axles. Let me tell you, I was glad I didn't use Rusty, because there was no way I was going to be able to get anything done. Most if not all the bolts were rusted and seized, which caused issues with the disassembly. The drivetrain was installed in a new shell with ease, along with the Paco lift kit. While the engine was out, it was refreshed with a new timing belt kit and water pump. I replaced all the other parts that needed to be replaced as well. So, this car is getting closer to getting back on the road. After the new car had the drivetrain moved over, it was time to lay Rusty to rest. The good parts were taken off and stripped, and I towed it to its new owner. There was a bit of disappointment for how much I got for it, because people asked thousands of dollars for these online. I had nearly created generational wealth for myself with a whopping $118 I received, which, if you consider gas and the dolly rental, I took home just over $50 during this process. However, the car was gone and I was ready to move on to a better project. Where this car stands now is the most enjoyable part. In order to fit the wheels I chose, some assembly is required. I decided to use 15x8 Bassets on Facebook Marketplace that I gave a cleaning and a rattle can paint job to. It will have a set of 28-inch SUV tires to complement them as well, and if I ever find the deal, I would gladly go bigger and throw super swappers on it. Some supporting mods to the car that I plan to do in the future are the subframe spacing to fix the angle of the drivetrain, rear upper control arms and extended ball joints to get the right camber because the suspension geometry is all whack now. And finally, swapping out the Miata struts for the Tacoma struts. I plan to document changes with this car and I'm open to suggestions if you've been through this before. In the next part, you'll see my art and creativity. Who knows, maybe I'll become a professional car builder someday and receive a job offer from Akira Nakai. Stay tuned for the next part where the wheels will be fitted. Wait and see what else I have in store. It's too late to go back now. Thanks for watching.